Hey everyone, this is Arun Reddy here. Welcome to my YouTube channel Arun Reddy Tech for You. In this video, we are going to learn a topic called relational integrity constraints. So friends, if you are new to my video and if you don't want to, if you want to learn DBMS, you can go through my channel playlist. In channel playlist, you can find DBMS folder where you can find English videos. And if you want videos in Telugu, you can also go to the next folder DBMS in Telugu. So where Telugu videos are available. And if you don't want to miss my video, please subscribe my channel and don't forget to like and share my videos. Coming to our topic, relational integrity constraint. So what is integrity constraint? Let us see. Right. So first of all, integrity constraints are set of rules. So what you are saying? Integrity constraints are set of rules. It is used to maintain the quality of information. So what we are saying, see, wherever you go, for example, if you go for a railway station or if you are going in a rail journey, so there will be a condition that you should not have a explosive, fire explosives. You should buy a ticket, then only you have to travel. Okay, so there will be like a no cigarette or allowed, right? So this kind of rules will be there. Okay, so even if you go for a metro or suppose you are going to a classroom, so there some rules will be set, right? So why these rules are maintained? Because to maintain a proper proper quality, right, proper standards. So here also integrity constraints is nothing but a set of rules. Why we are maintaining these rules? Because it is used to maintain the quality of information. For example, if I am taking some admissions in my college, let us assume I have a college and I am taking a admissions. So whenever the people fill the form, they didn't fill the mobile number properly. For example, 10 digits, somebody has entered 9 digits, somebody have entered 11 digits. So they have repeated the same number. So now what happens? I am unable to communicate them. Okay, so for example, they got the seat, but I am unable to communicate them. Then what is the use, right? So this kind of problems should not occur, right? So to this, we do have to maintain certain rules, right? So integrity constraint ensure that data insertion, updation, and other process, okay, have to be performed in a such a way that data integrity is not affected. So what you are saying, data integrity should not be updated when should not be affected when you are inserting, updating, and other process. For example, if I keep a condition, for example, I have given an Excel sheet and I have said to enter the name, okay, or I have given a condition that the phone number should be 10 digits. If somebody entered less than 10 or greater than 10, it should not accept. Now what happens? They will enter proper phone number. Okay, so now what happen? I will able to communicate them. Okay, now I can easily communicate them, right? So that's the advantage when you have a proper rules or validations. So what happens with this? We'll have a proper data, right? Okay, now these rules are further divided, these constraints are further divided as domain constraint, entity integrity constraint, referential integrity constraint, and key constraint. Okay, so let us go one by one. First, domain constraint. Okay, so domain constraint can be defined as a definition of valid set of values of for attributes. So what you are saying, for an attribute, these are the validity. For example, name, you have entered name, sorry, for example, roll number, you are entering a number, then okay. Okay, for example, marks, you are entering within the 500, then it is okay. You cannot enter marks as a more than 500, or in place of number you are trying to enter a character, then it will not accept. So these are called as domain in constraint. See, the best example is data type. Okay, so data type of domain includes string, character, time, date, currency, etc. These values of the attributes must be available to corresponding domain. For example, let me show you. For example, I have given marks as an integer. Now somebody is trying to enter a all characters. Okay, so now it is not accepting. See, so I kept a condition that it should be integer. So somebody is trying to enter alphabets, then it is not accepting. See, this is what called as data constraint. So data constraint basically what columns data type. Okay, you cannot violate such data type values, right? So this is called domain constraint. So what happens if somebody enters text, then the data will be correct, right? Okay, so next, entity integrity constraint. So what do you mean by entity integrity constraint? Means, see, every table will have a one column as a key value. Okay, so that key value will refer to the other. For example, you will have an Aadhaar card number. So suppose if your Aadhaar card number is empty, what happens? nobody can identify your, for example, they have taken all your data, your phone number, your address, they have taken your fingerprint, they have taken your biometric, but they didn't allocated a number to you. Then what happened? How you they can be they can uniquely identify you? There will be a lot of people with the same name, Arun Reddy, right? So that's kind of problems. To avoid this kind of problem, we have an entity integrity constant. What it will do? Primary key cannot be null. Okay, so this is because primary key value is used to identify rows. See, my whole data is identified with the primary key. So now if primary key is null, what happens? Waste, right? Okay, so a table cannot contains a null value other than the primary key field. So what you are saying, see, serial should number is a primary key, so it should not be null. For example, marks, if it is null, then it accept. Serial sorry, student name is empty, then it will accept, but it will not accept a null value if it is a primary key. So what happens? Suppose you are giving a hall ticket number and your hall ticket number is not entered and you have your details are entered. Then what happens? It's a waste, right? So creating a record without a unique number, what happens? Waste, right? So you should not allow a primary key value as null. Best example is when you are entering the form, when you are filling the forms, what happens? They will have for example, you are filling a form and they have asked the Aadhaar card number. Now they will keep mandatory, see, they will keep mandatory fields, right? So mandatory fields is nothing but they will not accept null value. See, same entity integrity constant. Suppose if you are not typing your Aadhaar card number and you are trying to submit, what it will say? Please enter your Aadhaar card number, it's mandatory. You will also find a star symbol. That means it's a mandatory field. You have to enter. So that's called as entity integrity constant. You cannot keep a primary or key value as empty, right? So if you keep, what happens? It's a waste, right? Creating a record. Okay, next, referential integrity constant. So referential integrity constant is specified between two tables. See, when you have a two table, then only this referential integrity constant will come into exist. Okay, so what is the rule of referential integrity constant? Means if a foreign key for example, I will show you. See, employee table is there, department table is there. So referential integrity constant, if a foreign key in employee table, see, department number is a foreign key in employee table, and in the department table, department number. See, whenever you select a foreign key and primary key, both should be common. Now if you don't have this common column, what happens? You cannot give a foreign key because this common column only is joining both the table. For example, 101, or if I say Ajay, which department is? See, department 10. What is department 10? Marketing. So automatically Ajay is marketing. How I know Ajay is marketing? Because this common column is helping us to connect both the columns. So that's why, see, employee table, it will be a foreign key, and the same foreign key will be primary key in the other table. So remember, foreign key will be a primary key in the other table. So see, if a foreign key is in employee refers to the primary key of the department, then every value of foreign key in employee must be null or be available in the department. So what you are saying, first department table will have a primary key 10, 20, 30, right? So now if you are entering a value in C, now I have to enter Ravi's 103, Ravi value enter. Suppose if I enter 30, it will accept. If I leave empty also, it will accept, but it will not accept the number which is not available in the department table. For example, 30 is available. If I enter 30, it will accept. If I enter again 10, 20 also accept, but I cannot enter 35. For example, if I enter 35, C, not allowed. Why it is not allowed? Because there is no 35. Ravi is, when I enter 35, Ravi don't have a department. 35 doesn't have any department number. See, department. Only 10, 20, 30 are there. Only 3 departments are there. You cannot enter other than this 10, 20, 30. You can leave empty, but you cannot enter, what you say, other than 30, so 10, 20, 30. That's a violation of referential integrity constant. See, here you enter 35, it's okay because you will enter immediately the department name. But in the referential table, this is a referential table, right? So here you should not enter a number which doesn't available in the referential table. Okay, so for example, here 10, 20, 30 is it. You should enter 10, 20, 30 or null. Other than that, you should not enter, right? So that's called referential integrity constant. Next, key constraint. So what do you mean by key constraint? Means key, see, you know that key is the main one, right? For example, Aadhaar card is my key. To with the Aadhaar card or number, Aadhaar card number is a key. With the Aadhaar card number only, everybody can easily recognize by my biometric or my fingerprints or my details, my name, my date of birth, my address, everything will be filled, right? So if I don't have a unique number, for example, same Aadhaar card given to other person, then what happens? Whenever they enter, there will be a mismatch because the same number will have some other details, right? So there will be again clash between two data, right? So it should be unique. So remember, your key value should be unique. See, suppose somebody is trying to enter 102 again, it should not accept, it will not accept. Okay, so that's a what rule, that's a what kind of rule it is? Key constraint. Key constraint is the key value should not be null or duplicate. Okay, so here duplicate will accept, it will not accept duplicate. Okay, so it will accept not allowed because it is unique. Actually it should written as a not allowed because duplicate. Okay, so it should be unique. Okay, so not allowed because it should be unique. Nice. So I hope you have understood the constraints, integrity constant, nothing but a rules. Okay, so once again we'll go one by one. Okay, so first of all, sorry, integrity constraints is nothing but a rules. Why? To get a quality data. So whenever you are inserting, updating or deleting, or sorry, not deleting, inserting, updating or other process, you should have follow certain rules. So what are the rules? Domain constraint. That means, for example, if I give max as a integrity, you cannot enter a character. Second, entity integrity constraint. Entity integrity constant, what is the rule? For example, primary key, you are trying to leave the number, so you cannot leave it because it should not be null. Okay, so it should be not null, right? Referential integrity, the numbers which you are entering in the referential table should be available in the other table which you are referring. Okay, so suppose if you are trying to enter the number which is not available in the department table, then what happens? It will not accept. It will say you are violating referential constraint. You can keep empty, or the number which you are available in the department table you can enter, but you cannot enter number which is not available in the department table, right? Okay, next, key constraint. What it is? Key constraint means the primary key, the key constant, the key column should not be duplicated, means it should be unique, right? So these are the referential integrity constraints. Sorry, these are the integrity constraint, relational integrity constraint. So friends, I hope you have understood the video, and if you like the video, please do like and subscribe, and don't forget to support me. Thank you.